Yo! Video games.
What up, dudes? It's Matt here for YoVideogames, and as you may have probably already figured out, Nintendo dropped a whole lot of shit earlier this week on their newest Nintendo Direct for January. Now, while sometimes Nintendo has had big Nintendo January Directs, there wasn't really a whole lot of new shit this year. At least not anything we hadn't heard about before. Maybe one or two surprises, but on the whole, it was kind of just stuff we knew was coming and coming kind of soon. So let's start off with what I'm most excited about, which is of course Xenoblade X. Now, the Xenoblade X trailer they showed was my kind of trailer. All about exploring, which is what I love the most about the first game. It only had the vaguest hints of story and it was mostly shit we already saw back at E3. Totally cool with that. But I actually really like the fact that we're seeing new areas and they're totally beautiful and exotic and showcase a great amount of variety. Interestingly enough, I had a sort of deja vu watching the trailer, as some months ago I had this sort of dream where I was trying to play Xenoblade at E3 and I was running out of time before the show floor closed, and I rushed over and got one last shot at it, and it was the exact same image from the trailer where the mech is flying through a canyon at sunset and there's all those weird birds and shit flying around it. Kind of weird, probably doesn't mean anything, probably just so much Xenoblade on my brain it was bound to happen. But either way, I'm totally jazzed for this game. I love this trailer, and I can't be any happier that it's coming soon. However, I do have to agree with some of the complaints. The humans are still pretty ugly, but you know what? I honestly don't care, since I'll be staring at the back of their asses for 90% of the game. The clothing and the armor looks cool, so really that's really the only important thing that I have to worry about. For me, the music still sounds great. I actually really like everything I'm hearing. I understand there's a lot of back and forth or polarizing opinions about the composer, especially amongst the anime fan crowd, and I don't understand it. But then again, I haven't really watched any of his other stuff. I know he's composed for a lot more recent animes, which would explain why I hadn't heard anything. I have heard his Attack on Titan intro songs, and I thought they were pretty fucking hype myself. I know his other big series is Kill la Kill, but I've never watched it, and everything I've seen on it looks like pure trash to me. Still, I'm totally importing this game day one. I don't care about the story. I hate Takahashi's writing anyways. He's written the same philosophical high school bullshit since Xenogears, so I really could care less about the story of this game. I just want to play it. And luckily, it looks like I'm going to be able to play it very soon. It's coming out April 29th in Japan, which means we'll be probably getting it on the 28th here in America at 8 in the morning, and I'm totally downloading that, getting a Japanese system, and I can't wait to play with you guys online. It's going to be a ton of fun. So anyone else who's importing the game, let me know, and we're totally going to rock the world of Mira together. Now, before we get into the rest of the games of Nintendo's Direct, I'd like to point out a couple of things that were strangely missing from this January event. First of the MIA games is Devil's Third. This is Itagaki's newest game, and it's kind of weird that it's not showing up. It had a very under-the-radar showing at E3 this year, and I would have thought that this would have been the perfect time to actually talk about it, as it kind of looks like this year's Bayonetta 2 for Nintendo. However, they didn't say a word about it, which pretty much guarantees it's not coming early. It's going to be a late-in-the-year title for sure if it does come out this year, which I think it will, because I think it's been in development forever and a day now. Another weird one was Yoshi's Woolly World. This is a really odd one. This game was announced about the same time as Xenoblade X was, and it was actually highly promoted at E3, with the game's director Takashi Tezuka on hand to demonstrate it. The fact that it's not being shown off or talked about at all means, well, it's certainly not coming out before May. And I'm starting to wonder if maybe there was more to this game's development cycle that's been rough than they've let on. The other really big Nintendo Wii U game that was not shown, mentioned, or talked about was Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei. I'm not really too concerned about this. This game is not coming out this year anyways. I don't know if any of you are expecting it, but it really just isn't going to happen. So I'm not too worried. I think we'll probably see more about it at E3. However, if we don't see anything at E3, then it's probably time to start panicking. But for now, I think that Nintendo is very forthcoming. This was a spring Wii U and 3DS title January event. So again, don't worry about there being no Fire Emblem Cross Shin Megami Tensei. However, speaking of Fire Emblem, now with samurais and shit, gonna have new waifu, so you will buy it. That's all I gotta say about Fire Emblem. Puzzles and Dragons collection. Well, Max's wife will be all over this shit. I'm not gonna touch it. Speaking of puzzle games, there was also Pokemon Shuffle. Yay! Nintendo dips into the scumbag world of freemium time-to-play shit. That's just fantastic, as if Candy Crush Saga wasn't slimy enough. Fuck this game. Fuck this motive from Nintendo, and fuck anyone who actually pays any money for this game whatsoever. Don't give them your money for this scam. A surprising announcement was the Wii games on the Wii U. Now at first I thought, oh, this is going to be great. We're going to get some upscaled games, probably some new control schemes for people who don't have Wii remotes anymore. But nope. Iwata announced that Wii games will be able to be played on the Wii U menu now. Only this time you won't have to actually go into the Wii startup. So let me get this straight. For a special price, you can re-buy Wii games and play them from the Wii menu instead of booting to the old Wii menu. Starting for only $9.99 and soon going to $20. You're literally paying $10 to $20 fucking dollars to press one less button to access a game on the boot up menu. Holy fuck, this is a goddamn ripoff. They're not upscaled. They don't have any extra controller support. However, if a game did actually work with the Pro Controller, you can now use the gamepad. However, the first 3 games we're getting in America don't have any Wii U Pro Controller support, so it doesn't fucking matter anyways. It's no different from putting the fucking Wii disc in your system. Only now you can pay $10 for a shortcut. Holy fuck. But it's all okay, because now you can buy Super Mario Galaxy 2 digitally and pay more money for a game you probably already own. Speaking of Mario, Nintendo also announced a super generic Mario Amiibo edition. So instead of actually resupplying the Amiibos that are selling out, they're actually going to just make new versions of Mario characters that they're deciding to keep in stock. Only this time they're more bland looking. Great! What's this all for? Well, it's just in time for another fucking Mario Party that's still not online! Here we are, 2015, Mario Party 10, no online gameplay. What the fuck? I really don't know what to say about it. I mean, I really don't even care about Mario Party, honestly, but it still just puzzles me that really there's no online feature whatsoever. I mean, speaking of games that are online, they did show off new stuff for Splatoon. I mean, I like hubs. I still don't give a shit about this game. The next game they showed off was codenamed Steam, which Billy Boy made the incredibly stupid comment that it was a strategy game like no other on the market. Yeah, Bill. No other game like that. Was that just the script you read, or are you really that dense? I mean, Sega kind of had this big, humongous title on the PS3 and PSP, and it recently re-released on Steam to fucking huge acclaim and amazing sales. What was that game called? Oh yeah, Valkyria Chronicles. Duh. Still though, I have to give credit for one thing. They did say they were actually going to start making more Marth Amiibos, which is nice, but I think Nintendo seriously needs to address the reason that there is such low supply for all these other non-Mario character Amiibos. This is fucking ridiculous. I understand there might have been some hesitancy from Nintendo because they didn't know if, hey, maybe people wanted a third action figure game to go alongside Skylanders and Disney Infinity, but guess what? They're selling really well. And instead of actually increasing supply to meet demand, they're just ignoring it. They're just leaving the money on the table. It's like this company's money fucking adverse sometimes. If there's one big, huge disappointment from this Direct, I think it's really not coming to grips and giving a clear, definitive answer on what's going on with the Amiibos. But moving on from Amiibos, the biggest announcement for the North American stream was something we've all expected, and that is the new 3DS, which is coming next month on February 13th. The name is still stupid. I can't figure out why they're calling it New 3DS, or rather New 3DS XL instead of 3DS XL, because that doesn't sound fucking confusing for consumers at all. But really, let's get over the name for a second here. One, they're not releasing the regular model, and two, this time, just like Japan and Europe, there is no AC adapter in the box, so that after the initial charge runs out, you have to actually go and buy an extra accessory to actually play your new 3DS XL. Fuck you! How the fuck is this not anti-consumer in the slightest? When pressed for a comment on the issue to IGN, Nintendo responded, "New Nintendo 3DS XL uses the same AC adapter as any Nintendo 3DS or Nintendo DSi system. Rather than raise the cost of a new Nintendo 3DS XL by charging consumers for a component they may already own, we are giving them the option to only buy if they need an AC adapter." Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you! Now getting back to the issue of the new small 3DS, I find it odd that they're not actually copying Apple this one instance, where it actually might have made sense. You could have at least offered the new small 3DS online, that way you don't have to worry about retail supply or anything, and you could actually bring the faceplates to North America. Speaking of faceplates, did you see them in the Japanese Direct? They have a pretty dope-ass Majora's Mask one, but you don't get that! Sorry guys, you're just gonna have to buy the new XL and like it. But wait, What was this? Arcturus Mask 3DS? Perfect complement to my Ocarina of Time 3DS. Wait a minute. Not only is there no charger, but also no game included in this box?
Well, fuck all y'all! I'm going home!
So that about wraps up my opinions on the new Nintendo January event. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I'll catch you later on the channel. Later, dudes!